there, Tim, John, or the voice of Duke Nukem, and you're watching Tim's Tiny Arcade, mother effer.
Hey guys, Tim from Tim's Tiny Arcade. I'm with Tom today.
How you doing, everybody?
We're heading to Bolingbrook, Illinois. We're going to Prince Arcades. Real excited, never been there before. Crappy weather, it's raining out there today and like 40 degrees, so we thought it'd be a good day to go to the arcade. So we'll see you guys all there. All right, so let's do a walkthrough of this arcade. First game we got here, Konami 91 Turtles in Time. Right next to that we have a Mappy. And then we have a Tapper from Midway, 1983. In a game I played, Space Zap. Basically, your goal is to defend the base in the center screen from all these aliens. Pretty cool game. That was 1980 Midway. Then we have an 81 Galaga from Namco. Right next to that, we have a Fast Ms. Pac-Man. Played quite a bit of that while I was there. And then we have an 83 Pack and Pow. Right next to a Q*bert. Next to that, we have a Bally Midway Burger Time from 1982. Then we got a Pot of Gold. That's by Game Plan. You're a little hero. You got to run through the forest and avoid this little leprechaun. Right next to that, we have a Universal 1982 Mr. Do. And then you don't have a great arcade unless you have this game in your arcade, and it's Tron. All great arcades have a Tron. Right next to a 81 Sega Upright Turbo. Pretty cool machine. Right next to that, we have a Atari Road Blasters from 87. Love that controller. And then next to that, we have an 81 Frogger. Classic game. All right, now we got a couple trackball games. We got Atari Centipede. And right next to that, we have a Atari Crystal Castles. I love how the trackball on that one just kind of flashes and glows. I think that's pretty cool. Then we have a game called Bank Panic by Sega. I had never seen that game before. The first time I'd seen that one in an arcade. Then we have a 82 Atari Pole Position Cockpit. Love this machine. Pretty cool looking. Used to have that when I was a kid at our arcade at Tilt. Then we have a game called Space Gun from 1990. It resembles like Terminator 2 and Aliens. Then we got a Cockpit Hydro Thunder. And then sitting next to the Hydro Thunder, we just got a couple more driving games. Love this arcade, just the variety of games they have here. Look at here, we have a Carnival. I haven't seen that one in forever, an arcade, so that's pretty cool to see that one here. And then in the corner, we have a 1991 Starblade. It's a 3D first-person shooter. This is the deluxe sit-down cabinet. And then over here in the very corner, we have one. It's kind of a rare game. It's called Landing Gear. This is from 1995. It's a plane simulation game. And you just pilot a number of different kind of aircraft in that game. That is really neat. Never seen that one either. All right, then we got Tom here. He's playing Star Wars Trilogy Arcade. It's one of his favorite games when he goes in arcade. Right next to him, we have by Rare, we have Battletoads. And then we have an X-Men versus Street Fighter. Down this aisle, we got a lot more fighting games. And here we have like a shmup. This is called Mission Craft. I actually played quite a bit of this. Actually a pretty fun game. Right next to that, we got a Street Fighter 2 from Capcom. We have a side beat 'em up Final Fight from Capcom. That's a good game. Right next to Killer Instinct. Then we have an interesting game called War Final Assault. Two of those right here. Those are like a first-person game. Never seen anything like that before. Then we got our Mortal Kombat row. We got Mortal Kombat 3. we got Mortal Kombat 2, and then right next to that one we have the original Mortal Kombat to finish out that row. All right, then they had an Ultimate Arcade, which I think had pretty much every game under the sun on that thing. Sitting next to that, we had Die Hard, and this game is based off the movie with Bruce Willis. Soul Calibur 2, which I think they just maybe got into the arcade. And then they had a 4-slot Neo Geo sitting right there. And right next to that, they were holding the spot, and they had Ronda Rousey hiding there. A couple pins here, they had Monster Bash. And sitting next to that, they had Comet. Beautiful machine. Had sitting here was a Black Rose from Bally. Pinball sitting right there. And then we had a Player's Choice 10 from Nintendo, which they had high scores you could break there. And then sitting next to that, I spent a ton of time playing Mario Brothers, trying to beat their house high. And I also played a ton of Donkey Kong, trying to beat their house high. Got pretty close, but couldn't get it done. Then we had Blitz and NBA Showtime. Those are awesome games to play with a couple people. Super Contra, hard game, but I actually love that game. And then a game you don't see too often, Elevator Action 2. I mean, I see Elevator Action, but usually not the sequel to it. And then sitting right next to that, we had a gun game, Aliens. Pretty cool looking game. And then right next to that, we had NBA Hang Time. Kind of like an NBA Jam style kind of game, just 2-player. And then we had a game called Invasion, which I have never played, and I didn't end up playing it, but it's a gun game. And then we had Gauntlet Dark Legacy from Midway. That's a fun game. You play 4 players with that one. Around the corner here, we had Midway Rampage World Tour. And then over here we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Konami. A 4-player one. So that's awesome that they had that. Okay, then we have Sega Spider-Man, the video game. This is a 4-player cab. Pretty cool to see that they had that here. Another 4-player game. We have Open Ice from Midway. I love those 4. You know, you get your friends on those games. Those are just, so much fun to play. Hard game, Defender Stargate. Next to that, we had a Williams Narc. We have quite a few Williams games coming up here. Now we have Williams Joust 2. Don't see that one very often. I think it's more of a rare game. Sitting next to Joust, which I love playing Joust. Joust is a fun game to play. And then right next to that, we have Moon Patrol. And then Sinistar. Never been very good at Sinistar. Challenging game for me. Robotron 2084. I played quite a bit of that while I was here. Love that game. And here's one that used to eat all my quarters back in the 90s. Smash TV. And then we have just a few pinball games. We have No Fear. Sitting next to F-14 Tomcat. It's a beautiful playing field. We had an Austin Powers. And then the last pinball machine, they had a Total Annihilation pinball machine. In the evening, this place was rocking. I mean, it was wall-to-wall, both rows, just full of people. Great to see that. Tom ended up breaking the high score, the house high actually here on Donkey Kong, but then right after that, someone ended up breaking his record. He ended up getting 90,000. First time he's hit 90,000, and he got by the 3rd spring stage, which has been tough. This is me playing, and I cannot figure out how to get past the 3rd springboard stage. I die. I just cannot get past it, and that's not going to stop me from keep on playing it. Probably played about $20 worth of Donkey Kong alone while I was here. So super cool place, guys. Highly recommend going to Prince Arcades. Until next time, guys, I will talk to you all later. Please give this video a like and sub to my channel. Until next time, we'll see y'all later.